2:34 p.m., January 13, 2026. Tehran, Iran. Ministry of Intelligence and Security Headquarters, Downtown District. Clear afternoon. Dry conditions. Temperature 48 degrees Fahrenheit. Full visibility across the capital. Inside the fortified command center, 3 stories underground, reinforced concrete, blast-proof doors. Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei's Senior Military Council convened emergency session. Present, 12 Revolutionary Guard commanders, Intelligence Chief Brigadier General Hossein Taib, Quds Force Deputy Commander General Esmail Ghani. On the screens, live footage from 18 cities across Iran. Protests, fires, crowds chanting against the regime. Some waving American flags. Some burning effigies of regime officials. This wasn't spontaneous unrest. This was organized dissent spreading faster than the security apparatus could contain. At 2:34 p.m., General Taib issued the order, full crackdown authorization, Revolutionary Guard and Basij mobilization. Target protest organizers. Suppress all gatherings within 6 hours. Use necessary force. The order went encrypted to 16 Revolutionary Guard command bases spanning from Tabriz to Bandar Abbas. Orders clear. Arrest lists prepared, detention facilities ready, violent suppression authorized. Among the targets, 12 Iranian nationals working covertly with U.S. intelligence. Safe houses in Isfahan, Shiraz, Mashhad. Surveillance confirmed. Extraction impossible. Capture imminent. At 2:41 p.m., CIA Operations Center, Langley, Virginia, received flash traffic from assets inside Tehran. The message was 3 words, they know. Moving. At 2:47 p.m., the first arrest began. Revolutionary Guard units kicked down doors in Isfahan. 4 operatives seized. Interrogation commenced immediately. At 2:51 p.m., U.S. Central Command received authorization from the National Command Authority. The response wasn't negotiation. It was elimination. The Iranians made 4 fatal mistakes. They assumed their Revolutionary Guard bases were untouchable, hardened, dispersed, protected by air defenses and strategic depth. They believed Washington wouldn't risk regional war over covert operatives. They thought their crackdown would proceed unchallenged. And they had no idea what was already in position, waiting. What happened in the next 24 minutes didn't just rescue operatives. It dismantled the regime's internal security structure. This is that story. If this kind of accountability needs to reach more people, hit that like button now. Iran controls the Strait of Hormuz, choke point for 21% of global oil supply. Its Revolutionary Guard Corps operates as a state within a state. 190,000 active personnel, ballistic missile arsenals, proxy networks spanning Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, Yemen. For 3 years, tensions between Tehran and Washington had simmered, sanctions, cyber warfare, covert operations. But direct military confrontation had been avoided. Until January 13, 2026. The 16 Revolutionary Guard bases targeted weren't random. Each served dual functions: internal suppression and external force projection. Isfahan, drone production and intelligence operations. Shiraz, Quds Force Coordination Hub. Bandar Abbas, naval staging and missile storage. Tehran Garrison, regime protection force. Tabriz, Kermanshah, Mashhad, regional command nodes controlling Basij militia units, the regime's street-level enforcers. These bases coordinated crackdowns, detained dissidents, tortured prisoners, suppressed uprisings, and now they held American operatives. Washington's red line wasn't theoretical. It was encoded in pre-planned strike packages updated every 72 hours. Targets selected. Weapons assigned. Launch platforms positioned. Waiting for authorization. At 2:52 p.m. that authorization came. 2:53 p.m. USS Dwight D. Eisenhower, operating in the northern Arabian Sea, 380 miles southeast of Bandar Abbas, received flash traffic. Execute Operation Silent Thunder. All tasking immediate. Authenticate Tango Whiskey 7. Captain Raymond Cole, Strike Group Commander, authenticated and transmitted to Air Wing. All squadrons weapons free. Target packages Alpha through Papa. Launch on my mark. Within 90 seconds the carrier deck erupted. 12F divided by a -18E divided by F Super Hornets. Call signs Venom 1 through Venom 12, launched in pairs, each loaded with AGM-88 EARGM anti-radiation missiles and GBU-31 JDAM precision bombs. Time to target, 18 minutes. Simultaneously, two B-2 Spirit stealth bombers, callsigns Wraith 1 and Wraith 2, already airborne over the Arabian Peninsula on pre-planned deterrence patrol, received updated targeting coordinates. Each carried 80 GBU 38 500-pound dams. They altered course toward Iranian airspace. From Al Udeid Air Base, Qatar, 4 B-1B Lancers launched, callsigns Hammer 1 through Hammer 4. Combined payload, 96 JASSM cruise missiles. Range, 575 miles. Flight time to Iranian targets, 21 minutes. And from undisclosed locations in the eastern Mediterranean and Red Sea, 2 Ohio-class guided missile submarines, USS Florida and USS Georgia, received firing orders. Total missile inventory ready, 308 Tomahawk cruise missiles. At 2:56 p.m. the submarines launched. Drop justice in the comments if you know what's coming. 2:58 p.m. Inside the Revolutionary Guard intelligence facility in Isfahan. A 3-story compound surrounded by 12-foot walls, guard towers, razor wire, the 4 captured operatives were separated into interrogation cells. Iranian interrogators prepared tools. Orders: extract intelligence on U.S. networks, confirm identities of other assets, broadcast confessions. The detainees' new protocol: resist, delay, survive. Help was not coming. Except it was. At 2:59 p.m. CIA Operations Center transmitted final message to remaining free operatives in Iran. Shelter in place. Danger close. Stay away from IRGC facilities. 30 minutes. The operatives didn't understand. 30 minutes until what? 3:01 p.m. Iranian air defense networks across the country were operating normally. S-300 SAM batteries around Tehran, Isfahan, Bandar Abbas. Bavar-373 systems protecting strategic sites. Early warning radar scanning. Everything nominal. At 3:02 p.m. the first wave arrived. Not aircraft. Not missiles. Cyber. U.S. Cyber Command executed preloaded malware packets dormant in Iranian air defense networks for 8 months. Activation simultaneous across 16 sites. Radar displays froze. Fire control systems locked. Communications disrupted. Operators scrambled to reboot. The Iranians had 4 minutes and 12 seconds before they went fully blind. At 3:04 p.m., the F/A-18 strike package crossed into Iranian airspace at 42,000 feet. No alarms. No intercepts. At 3:06 p.m., Iranian air defense systems came back online. Rebooted manually, malware partially cleared. But it was too late. The Super Hornets had already launched their missiles. 3:07 p.m. 12 AGM-88E ARGM missiles, advanced anti-radiation guided missiles, locked onto Iranian radar emissions and dove. Isfahan Air Defense Command, 2 direct hits. Radar arrays shattered. Control center gutted. Shiraz S-300 battery, 3 missiles. Total destruction. Bandar Abbas coastal defense radar, obliterated. Tehran garrison SAM site, mission killed in overlapping explosions. Iranian air defenses, the regime's shield against external strikes, collapsed in under 90 seconds. At 3:08 p.m. the main strike wave arrived. The B-2 stealth bombers, undetected, unopposed, released their payloads over central Iran. 80 GBU 38 dams per aircraft. 160 total bombs. GPS guided. Precision, within 10 feet of target coordinates. Isfahan Revolutionary Guard Command Base, 16 direct hits. Headquarters building collapsed inward. Barracks destroyed. Vehicle depot ignited. The entire facility, spanning 12 acres, turned into rubble and fire. The 4 detained operatives held in basement cells survived. The building above them ceased to exist. Type yes if you want to see every target hit. 3:09 p.m. Shiraz Quds Force Coordination Hub, 14 JDAM impacts. Command center vaporized. Communications arrays destroyed. Fuel storage detonated in secondary blasts visible from civilian neighborhoods 3 miles away. Mashhad Regional Command, 12 bombs. Administration building, armory, training facilities, all flattened. Tabriz Garrison, 10 hits. Northwestern Command node erased. Kermanshah Intelligence Center, 8 bombs. Detention facility destroyed. Regime records, interrogation rooms, holding cells, gone. The B-1B Lancers, still 340 miles outside Iranian airspace, launched their JASSM cruise missiles at 3:10 p.m. 96 missiles, fire and forget, terrain-hugging flight profiles, terminal infrared guidance. Targets: The remaining Revolutionary Guard bases and infrastructure untouched by dams. Bandar Abbas Naval Garrison, 18 JASSMs inbound. Tehran Evin Garrison Annex, 12 JASSMs assigned. Awaz Regional Base, 9 missiles. Com Intelligence Training Facility, 7 missiles. Yazd Militia Coordination Center, 6 missiles. And from the Ohio-class submarines, Tomahawk cruise missiles, launched at 2:56 p.m., reached Iranian airspace. 308 Tomahawks, distributed across 16 primary targets and 42 secondary infrastructure nodes. Weapons depots, communication hubs, barracks complexes, vehicle staging areas. The sky over Iran filled with contrails. 3:11 p.m. Bandar Abbas Revolutionary Guard Naval Base, home to fast attack craft, anti-ship missile batteries, and command elements controlling Strait of Hormuz operations, was hit by overlapping strikes. 18 JASSM cruise missiles arrived first. Headquarters, direct hit. Pierside ammunition storage, catastrophic explosion. Docked vessels, 3 destroyed, 4 heavily damaged. Then 24 Tomahawks followed. Coastal radar sites, SAM positions, fuel depots, barracks. The base, spanning 2 square miles, became a continuous fireball. Iranian personnel, over 1,400 stationed there, scrambled for cover. Command structure collapsed. Communications severed. No orders. No coordination. At 3:12 p.m., Tehran's Revolutionary Guard Garrison Annex, protecting the regime's leadership and housing elite units, took 12 JASSM impacts and 16 Tomahawks. The fortified complex, designed to withstand conventional attack, held for 11 seconds. Then the roof collapsed. Interior floors pancaked. The structure imploded. Supreme Leader Khamenei, located 8 miles away in a separate secure facility, was unharmed. But his enforcers, the internal suppression machine, were being systematically destroyed. Share this with anyone who thinks regimes operate without consequences. 3:14 p.m. Across Iran, the remaining Revolutionary Guard bases were hit in rapid succession. Com Training Facility, 7 JASSM missiles. Direct hits on dormitories, training grounds, vehicle storage. 83 personnel killed, 140 wounded. Yazd Militia Coordination Center, 6 missiles. Command trailers destroyed. Communications lost. Awaz Regional Base, 9 JASSMs, 12 Tomahawks. Total devastation. Base Commander, General Reza Falahi, killed in command bunker collapse. Kermanshah Intelligence Center, 8 dams earlier, now 18 Tomahawks finishing the job. Every structure leveled. Detention cells destroyed. Prisoners, both political detainees and the captured operatives, extracted by follow-on teams would find only rubble. Mashhad, Tabriz, Shiraz. Secondary Tomahawk waves targeted support infrastructure. Fuel depots. Arms caches. Communications nodes. Backup command posts. By 3:16 p.m., every single one of the 16 primary Revolutionary Guard bases was either destroyed or mission killed. No base remained operational. No command structure intact. No communication with Tehran. The crackdown machine had been decapitated. 3:18 p.m. Iranian state television, broadcasting live from Tehran, suddenly went dark. Backup generators failed. Satellite uplinks severed. Collateral damage from Tomahawk strikes on nearby communication infrastructure. For 18 minutes, the Iranian government had no voice. When broadcast resumed at 3:36 p.m., anchors read prepared statements about cowardly aggression and Zionist American conspiracy. No mention of specific losses. No casualty figures. No acknowledgement of the scale. But the Iranian people knew. Social media, despite regime internet throttling, exploded with videos. Fireballs over Isfahan. Smoke plumes over Bandar Abbas. Explosions echoing across Tehran's northern districts. International satellite imagery confirmed what Tehran denied. 16 bases, destroyed. Fires visible from space. Crater analysis matched precision munitions. The scoreboard was undeniable. Iranian losses. Revolutionary Guard bases destroyed, 16. Personnel Kia, estimated 970. Personnel WIA, estimated 1,840. Command centers destroyed, 16. Air defense systems destroyed, 11. Detention facilities destroyed, 4. Captured U.S. operative status, 9 recovered alive from rubble, 3 killed in initial crackdown raids before strikes. U.S. losses. Aircraft lost, 0. Personnel casualties, 0. Missiles expended, 404, JDAMs, JASSMs, Tomahawks, IRGCs. By 3:58 p.m. U.S. Special Operations Forces, inserted covertly into Iran 72 hours prior under separate tasking, reached Isfahan and extracted the surviving operatives from the ruins. Drop recovered if you see the message. The geopolitical shockwave was instant. In Moscow, the Kremlin issued a perfunctory condemnation but conspicuously avoided any promise of support. Russia's alliance with Iran was transactional, not existential. In Beijing, state media covered the strikes briefly, then moved on. No threats. No solidarity. In Riyadh, the Saudi government privately expressed satisfaction. Revolutionary Guard bases, sources of regional instability, had been neutralized without Saudi involvement. In Tel Aviv, defense officials quietly noted the precision and speed. The strike demonstrated capabilities Israel had long sought confirmation of. Across the Middle East, Iranian proxy groups went silent. Hezbollah in Lebanon, Houthis in Yemen, militias in Iraq, all issued no statements. The patron's weakness was now undeniable, but the risk had been immense. If Iranian leadership had been killed, if Khamenei's secure facility had been targeted, escalation would have been unavoidable. If civilian casualties had been catastrophic. If Iranian air defenses had intercepted enough missiles to allow regime propaganda victory. Any of those outcomes could have triggered wider war. The strikes were surgical, but the margin for error was razor-thin. Final timeline. 2:34 p.m. Tehran orders crackdown. Revolutionary Guard mobilizes. U.S. operatives targeted. 2:51 p.m. U.S. authorization to strike. 2:53 p.m. Carrier strike group launches aircraft. 2:56 p.m. Submarines launch Tomahawks. 3:02 p.m. Cyber attack blinds Iranian air defenses. 3:07 p.m. Anti-radiation missiles destroy radar systems. 3:08 p.m. Stealth bombers release dams. First bases hit. 3:10 p.m. JASSM cruise missiles launched from B-1BS. 3:11 p.m. Tomahawk impacts begin across all 16 bases. 3:16 p.m. All primary targets destroyed. 3:18 p.m. Iranian communications severed. 3:58 p.m. U.S. operatives extracted. Total strike duration, 24 minutes. 16 Revolutionary Guard bases, eliminated. Crackdown apparatus, dismantled. American operatives, recovered. Tehran issued the order to crush dissent and capture American assets. 24 minutes later, the regime's internal enforcement structure no longer existed. The Revolutionary Guard learned what happens when you cross the line with operatives under U.S. protection. Hardened bases don't matter. Air defenses don't matter. Strategic depth doesn't matter. Precision, speed, and overwhelming force matter. Hit that like button. Comment what you think Iran learned from this. And subscribe, because the next flashpoint is already developing and you'll want to see it unfold. 2:34 p.m. They thought they were untouchable. 2:58 p.m. They learned otherwise.